I think Robbie is understating when he tells you guys like this is important. I think IG and Social Circle are the modern fucking players stack. And I think that by not doing it, it's like you have both hands tied behind your fucking back because this is the whole world these girls live in.
Welcome to the Leverage Podcast, where we give you men's dating advice that doesn't suck. I'm your host, Robbie Kramer, a former finance guy, online poker pro, and highly ranked collegiate golfer before I became obsessed with understanding attraction and passionate about teaching men how to improve their love lives. Tune in each week where we'll give you the latest and greatest strategies to get more dates, make yourself more attractive and confident with the opposite sex in order to meet your perfect 10, and design a lifestyle that makes all your buddies jealous. If you're a regular listener and digging our content, please leave us a 5-star review on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, wherever you watch or listen to this. But if you don't think it's worthy of 5 stars, just go ahead, don't leave any review at all. If you're new to the show, I recommend you download my dating protocol. It'll help you optimize your first dates and subsequent dates. I like to connect with my listeners personally, so if you want to pick up a copy of that PDF, please direct message me on Instagram at Robbie_Kramer. Before we dive into this week's content, I want to let you guys know we've opened up a few slots in our exclusive community called Leverage. We are accepting applications if you want to join our select group of men and experience the radical power of accountability to step up your game, cross off everything on your sexual bucket list, and become a beast at accomplishing your goals. To learn more and apply, go to innerconfidence.com/leverage. Now let's dive into this week's content. I want to have Amir talk about a few things. One is Social Circle, but more importantly, using Instagram as a way to leverage your social circle. I feel like that's something that you guys are really not quite putting enough emphasis on, that Amir pointed out yesterday. I think a lot of the content in the group is around like developing a good Instagram, but we think that's just the static posts on the page, which are important, but the consistent stories and just using that as a way to stay top of mind and just the status that drives is more important, arguably. And then Amir wants to talk a lot about his strategy of running parties, some of the nitty gritty. So I think this is going to be an awesome, like, he's in the midst of it now. Whereas, you know, when I did the social funnel mastery stuff a couple months ago, I was recalling events that I was doing, you know, a year or two prior, so it wasn't as fresh in my mind. So
yeah, I want to start with like I think misconceptions, and I see this a lot, is the focus on the feed, right? Fuck, it's like this is all chicks, right? Like focus on like this. I don't even think you fucking need this. Like you should have good pictures. Yes. I barely fucking touch my feed, and IG drives my whole life now, right? I would much rather have a girl's IG and have her following me than I would have her phone number. I don't give a shit about her phone number. And the truth is like these girls, for the most part, these young hot girls, they live on IG, right? And so this obsession we're having, right? My fucking tagline is computerologist. And like I put like I occasionally will put a picture up here, but like I don't put any effort into it really.
Texas made the cut.
Yeah, Texas made the cut. You didn't, by the way. I had to make a choice. I actually want to start like a little bit philosophical. I think that your life is the story you tell yourself, right? I think that like you live the life that you live the story you tell yourself in your head. And I think a lot of inner game, I think a lot of confidence is learning to tell yourself the sort of story that you want to be true, right? And I think that the way I approach Instagram is I use the story as a way of telling myself the story about the person that I want to be, right? And so my posts are designed mostly to tell me about who I want to be, right? And it has changed everything about my life because I'm constantly telling myself that story. And every hot girl that I've met, right? And the guy I want to be is a pretty dope dude, right? Like, and the longer I do that, the closer I get to achieving that, right? And it's funny because like my guy friends reply to my post and I'm like, why are you even watching? It's not for you. Like it's like, but the funny thing about it is that like it actually builds that Same thing with the guys, right? And actually, like, the guys end up being the more valuable piece over time. So, I think what's really important about when social media first became like really a big deal, the way everybody approached it was like, I can use this to like pretend to live this amazing fantasy life, and everybody will admire me, right? Well, the way markets work is like once everybody can do it, it's not worth anything, right? So now, what people, especially young women, Gen Z, that sort of thing, value in this sort of stuff is authenticity, right? That's when there's all these new social networking apps coming out that are like designed, you can only take pictures in real time, right? Like there's several of these. They value authenticity because everybody's been living a fake life for as long as they can see. And one of the things I shine at is authenticity, right? Like I'm just posting the shit I'm doing, I'm making fun of myself almost all the time, right? And so that's the way I approach I show self-awareness by posting stuff. This is literally me laying down on a bench with the caption, proof that I sometimes sit still, right? I'm showing self-awareness. I'm like making fun of myself. I'm showing self-awareness, but I'm like, but it like demonstrates like a degree of confidence, right? Like do that. This is not fucking that interesting. And like people, dude, they'll just say like, people look at me and they're like, well, Amir, you have money. Amir, you have like all these sorts of things. Yeah, well, it's true. Didn't take anything to take this fucking picture. It just took like understanding who I am and like what I want to put out there in the world, right? Look at this. No, I'm not watching Blade Runner 2049 and crying, you are, shut up. like it's like fucking, you know, girls are watching this shit. Like this has got like 3 hot girls liking it, right? Like this is starting to feel a lot like South by, right? With I meant to be like the Christmas song, right? Like that demonstrates like social awareness. 2 hot girls like that so far, right? Like I'm sort of none of this is like rich guy stuff. None of this, right? Like this is normal person shit, but I'm demonstrating like social awareness, right? Like I'm telling them like, yeah, like I live downtown and like, you know how South by is taken over by, you know, this sort of shit downtown every year. Like, well, I live in the middle of it, right? Like I understand how this goes. I'm demonstrating all sorts of social awareness with these sorts of things, but I'm also showing them my personality, like my real personality, which is like, you know, or like the best version of my personality, right? And I'm taking a lot of risks with who I am, and I'm posting continuously, obnoxiously, all the time. And like, most of them are like nothing burgers. They don't fucking matter, right? Occasionally one is like pretty bad, right? And then every now and then, like I have like a gem that like goes pseudo viral, like with the girls in my group, right? And like, I think I'd go through my archive and just show you guys.
Do you want to real quick show mine from yesterday? Just a few more examples of dumb shit.
Yeah, for sure.
Post every day.
Yeah. Yeah, right? Like it's like a little bit witty, right? Like,
yeah,
and
like Austin, Texas, also Texas, right?
You're showing that you're like a fun guy, right? Like, yeah.
You know, I saw that and I'm like, okay, how can I make fun of that? Like, oh, you know.
How can I dude, that question of like, how can I say something funny here is like the thing that I'm always thinking, right? And half the time it's making fun of me, you know? Yeah, like, yeah, like
this, I'm like, all right, how can I make this look stupid, right? This one, I'm like, all right, how can I put a martini next to the dog, right?
Yeah, so good, so good.
That was Amisha's brainchild, but you know, I got, you know, probably 20 messages from that, right?
From which one? All of them?
From all of them, just from yesterday. Like this is all seen, like this is just from yesterday's post, right? So like 15 to 20 story responses.
By the way, I don't have a lot of followers. Like, I don't need a lot, right? Like, I have, like, the ones that matter for me, right? Like, I'm not trying to become an influencer. I'm just trying to, like, build my social circle.
And only recently you were on private.
Yeah, I just came on private a little while ago. Look at this. This is, like, me doing my Duolingo, right? Like, this is me making fun of my peg leg, right? Next accessory. Right? Like, it's just, yeah, like this is like definitely a humble brag, right? But like funny, right? So I don't know. Like if you look at those things, it's like me like semi-crippled in the gym, right? Like this is like none of this shit is like, you know. But then every now and then there's like this, right? Right? Which is like all the hot girls in my group are like, wow, he's hanging out with like really hot girls, right? Okay. So more notes.
Do you want to talk a little bit about just like developing the skill of doing that?
So I would say that, let's see if I can go all the way back. Like I've definitely...
Because I think you're much better at it than me. Yeah, I think I'm pretty good. But he's got me beat because he's more witty. And, you know, he finds like just the lying down one. He does such a good job of making fun of himself, to which other people who know him will be like, that's hilarious. Like me actually sitting still because we know he's got like a, you know, rocket ship up his ass 24/7. So, you know, it's not like you're going to be able to do this overnight, right? But like within a week, you're going to be so much better than when you started, you know? And you don't need, you know, 5 posts a day. You might just need 1.
But my advice is to actually post. I think they should be doing 5 or 10 posts a day because I think they need to develop the muscle.
No, for sure. The more the better, I think. And even if you just, what I'm saying, like 1 or 2 is so much better than nothing.
Yeah. So like it used to be, my style's actually gotten funnier. Like this is like not, this is from almost a year ago, right? It's like not as good. Like it's just not as good. Like as some of my newer stuff, because I've gotten more comfortable. Like, you know, like I used to be like more like, this is the thing that you're currently looking at, right? And now it's much less like about the thing that you're currently looking at, and it's much more about just like a hilarious observation. Yeah, so this is like, it used to be like more like updatey about my life, right?
Right.
This is like over a year ago.
Like I would find a way to probably make fun of like
everything about
the outfit or the bed or something, you know.
Totally, right?
Yeah.
Like this, not even a caption, right? Like so, yeah, like definitely has come a long way. But I got there by just iterating, and then like realizing that like this, like the stuff that people liked was just like goofier,
right.
And then it was just like, all right, well, how do I make everything funny? Yeah. So.
Do you just add the captions to the photos? Is there anything else you do, like tags or anything?
I tag, yeah. So you like, and once you start using it properly, like, so first of all, you like to use any of these things properly, you have to use it, right? You have to use it all the time because there's so much nuance. There's so much little nuance, and a lot of you are going to be like, oh my goodness, I have to like memorize all the nuance. No, just fucking start doing it, and then over time the nuance will occur as you like have interactions, right? Like you don't. And like the way to do it is to start doing it and then keep doing it, and you will naturally figure out what's working, what's not working. Especially if you're going to parties, right? Because you'll start to understand what other people are doing. There's a lot of etiquette that you'll figure out, right? But it's not like if you don't do the etiquette right, people are like, oh my God, like they don't fucking notice, right? But if you do it right, your shit starts to go more viral, right? So just fucking do it. Like you guys should all be posting stories continuously. Your profile can be fucking blank. It can be blank, right? And it can be stupid shit. It should be stupid shit, frankly. Etiquette, like, yeah, so like there's like, I'll show you guys, like from a party. Yeah, so like this, I tagged both the girls, right? They all reposted to their story. Yeah, this is me reposting Taylor's story that she tagged me in. This is me after I broke my foot, like tagging all the people that I went with, right? And they all, by the way, they all reposted this with like their own captions, right? Here's one with the other night. Like with this, I tagged both those in, and both of them reposted it, right? Like,
and from this, a dude I know who lives in Vegas, he was like, "How do you know Taylor?" Right? Who is an awesome dude I hadn't like connected with in probably 5 years, and he's like, "Come to Vegas, stay in my fucking mansion. I'm gonna hook you up." Like, you know, just because he saw Taylor, he knew her from some, you know, modeling gig they did a couple years back, and you never know what comes of it.
Oh yeah, also reposting memes. Like, I don't do it a lot, but I do it occasionally when one really makes me laugh. Especially when I like to repost the memes that tell girls that like I have awareness of like how their world works. You know, because like girls, if you like can cut through all of their shit and be like, oh yeah, totally, I bet you were a real estate agent before, huh? And like they're like. They're like, who the fuck are you? You're not supposed to know that shit, right? But yeah, to show you guys some of the like opportunity side of this, let's see. I wanted to show you, Empowered by Ginger, right? So look at this, like, boom. Invited her to a party. She invited me to a party back, right? She's super fucking hot. You know, Let's see.
Amir, are you responding or commenting to other people's stories or posts a lot, or are you more focusing on your own?
I'm very much focused on my own.
Yeah.
I'm very calculated in how much love I give other people. If anybody replies to me, I will always at least heart their shit back, right? But if Robbie, that was recently, actually. I recently started doing that. That was a big unlock. Was people said, with anybody who interacts with my stuff, I always at least heart it back, right? But actually,
So acknowledge that you saw it, basically, and not look like a jerk.
Look at this girl. This girl has not talked to me since January. Wait, no, I reacted to her shit in January. That was a bad move, actually. So she skipped out on a party in early January. She reacted to my shit. I reacted to that, got no love. Yesterday, she reacted to something I said. I knew that was an opening. That she was saying, I'm interested in you. And I started make fun of her, right? Make fun of her. Party invite. RSVP reminder, this is hilarious. Fucking emoji. I'll RSVP if I can make it. Yeehaw chic. I can make it part. She has kids, right? So this is like legit for her, right? But like this just shows you, right? Like some of the stuff. I wish I had more active examples, but like I'm getting invited to shit all the time now, like because of this, right? So like this guy, I'll show you guys having met him. There's a party. There's a party. There's a party. There's a party. Like, and this is all like, it's all social circle, right? And then in fact, actually, like the combination of Instagram and social circle for me are like intimately linked. Like, and I don't do any approach really. Like I think Robbie is understating when he tells you guys like this is important. I think IG and social circle are the modern fucking players stack. And I think that by not doing it, it's like you have both hands tied behind your fucking back because this is the whole world these girls live in. The whole fucking world, right? Like this, like look at this. This, I just sent out reminders to this thing. We now have almost 80 RSVPs and we're gonna get a bunch more between now and then. Like, and
Which
most
is
of these are
too
chicks.
many,
Which,
by the
shut
way.
The fuck up. We're just going for it. We're just going for it. Yeah. So, and by the way, dear God, thank you for opening my eyes to this, dude. Like, so good, so good.
I mean, thank you for running with it so hard, you know? Like, when you joined, you were basically just seeking.
It was just seeking,
right?
yeah.
And you had, you know, I think a lot of your approach anxiety wasn't just coming from the anxiety. It was like, if I do that thing, it's going to be, like, so pathetic compared to this other thing. So, and you have the resources, right?
It was almost an addiction.
Well, you have the resources, and you also you're not dealing with like nice guy syndrome. Whereas, like I always say, if you guys aren't generating attraction, you're not able to build like a rotation of girls. If you try to do this stuff, you run the risk of just getting massively friend zoned and having all of your buddies, you know, bang all the girls that come to your parties and just letting them pass you over. But you had already done that.
But
right?
the Instagram piece is no risk. The social circle has, I think, some of that.
Exactly.
But the Instagram is only benefit, no risk. If you're not doing it, you're just fucking dumb. Right. That's my pitch.
Yes. Well, actually, let me show Yanin first, and then I want you to talk about Fernando. So you know Yanin, right?
Oh my God.
How well does he do with women?
He does good.
He does good. This is his Instagram, right? It's his, like, by all standards, not very good. He's got Mickey Mouse as his main page, right? Like, not that great of a photo. Whatever. Whatever, right? But this guy destroys because he posts stories a lot.
Every day he has like 10 stories and it's all parties, hot girls. And you just like, and he attracts not only other hot girls, he attracts other men who see how successful he is with hot girls. He destroyed with stories.
Now you wanted to speak about Fernando?
Yeah, Fernando never posts any single story and he was posting only posts and
I wish we could see his old.
And he's, and we literally went through his Instagram and we deleted around like thousands pictures.
He has 831 posts.
It was around 2000s.
Wow.
And they were all like just selfies of, he's been to, 115 countries and counting. So it was basically just like him in front of some, cool spot, but bad quality, not that interesting. you know, old photos, him with ex-wife,
Yeah, like
ex-girlfriend.
15,000 pictures with ex-wife.
So, you know, when he came and did like a mini immersion in Kiev a few years back, you know, we had the opposite problem of filtering out his content, and now
Changing his style also, because it was also a little old-fashioned. Now he has really good style.
and now
I like
he's
this
you
stories.
know, he's doing the funny stuff that Amir was just talking about. So the
He's
plan
got-
was to get back on with spring, right?
Next. Next. Go next. And go next. Like, it's super cool, and what he said afterwards, that like he was feeling this his Instagram is so useless, even though he's traveling, he's posting, and in my opinion he's really good looking guy. He like, I never have any responses. Like, where do you want to get responses? People comment your post or what? And when he started to post the stories, whatever he does, he posts drinks, like almost like a mirror. And he said, I'm immediately getting response from all the girls. And it's like a huge life-changing thing by just starting posting stories. You're doing drinks, like Alex likes to do boomerangs of drinks, right? It's also a cool habit to have. Like, every time you out, every time you eat something, every time you saw something funny, some science, something else, you broke your foot, you're just posting about this, you know? It's just like getting into a habit, just to see stuff and like just make a picture and post, or make a video and post it. It maybe sounds a little bit hard right now, but when you will get into the habit, you're just going, you just like post it, here. And you won't even think about this, it will just happen because it's just a habit. You just see stuff, you post it.
Also, like using these what do you call these?
Reels.
Highlights.
I don't do that. I should do that.
Yeah, that's an area you could lean into,
Yeah.
right? I don't have any highlights now, but like I used to, and it was just all party mania nonsense, you know. So.
I'm pushing to the left.
Oh well, there were just too many. I'm gonna go back through and put some up.
So I have a question related to this, which is like a sort of an inner game thing, which is like you talk about getting into the habit of posting the stories, or you know, constantly posting the stuff. And memes for me, that would be easy, but like it's an inner game thing. But I feel self-conscious or like vain constantly posting photos of myself or photos of what I'm doing. I feel vain and self-conscious when I do it, and I know it's stupid because I see other people do it and
It's not stupid.
it's fine. So I just feel self-conscious about it, so I don't do it.
Yeah, I mean, like everybody does, right? Like that's why most guys don't do it. I actually made a choice several years back to stop listening to that voice. But like, the truth is, the more you show yourself and the more you show your personality to the women that were even remotely interested in you, the more interested they become, especially with consistency.
I agree. I like when guys post stuff because it's their page, and when I go to their page, I want to see them. Right? Why would you have an Instagram page where there is no you, or like one picture of you and some other stuff?
If you're not doing this, you don't know which girls really like
Yep.
you. If you're doing this, it's so obvious.
Look at this. Like, I sent her a part. I hung out with her the other night. She was at a party, and she's one of my friends. She's Taylor's good friend, so I sent her a nice message, like this is like a nice message, but it wasn't simpy because it wasn't a dating context. Good energy. I sent her a party invite, and I also posted about a show I'm going to. My show posts are just fucking chick bait, right? It's just like, who wants to go to me to this fucking concert? Because they all know I take girls to concerts now, and they all indicate. And I'm like, at first I was like, maybe I'll hit you up closer to the event. And I was like, wait, no, that's backwards. You hit me up. You do the homework, not me. She was like, hell yeah. Then she starts proving how good she is going to be at hitting me up. Like, she's showing me, like, she's like, I'll do it without a time, or like whatever. And then she's like, I get more party invite stuff. And then she asked me out, right? Like, she's like, and then I make fun of her, like, for being a night nurse or whatever. And then, she already RSVP'd. I know she's RSVP'd. I still reminded her to RSVP because it's just like a copy paste. She doesn't copy pasting to everybody, but it's also a reminder. Hey, you're having this party. You should invite your friends, right? Like, and then like little meme, right? Like, so that's good. This girl I sent her the party invite. She met me at Taylor's birthday party. Sent her a party invite. and then like decides to like engage in dialogue, and then I send her a reminder, and like there's more sort of banter back and forth. So this stuff is like really, really powerful. I think this girl's probably like a little into me. Yeah.
Also, what Robbie said, maybe you can just talk about that 1 minute, like how to see which girls like you, because I think with stories it gets super obvious. So maybe you can quickly talk about like the ladder. So there's like hiding the story, right? And there's reactions, and
I try to once a week or so when I was single, even more, post a feed, you know, like an actual post, and I would see pretty consistently like who liked all of my, you know, my weekly main sort of feed posts. And so that gave me some information. And then who was watching my stories, that's a huge one. Like if someone's consistently watching your stories, and not just the first one, but like all of them,
Yep.
that's huge. And then if they're consistently commenting on the stories or commenting under the posts, that's like, it doesn't really get much more obvious.
You're quantifying user engagement.
Yes.
Yeah, don't say it like that. So this girl already, like, I reminded her, she already RSVP'd, I knew it. She's like, I already RSVP'd, and I'm like, you rock. But I'm just, yeah. You were, oh, yeah, so like looking at whoever.
exactly the harding. So
Like-
that's harding the stories.
Yeah, the harding is like,
That's already very telling. If there's some stories, there's nothing to react to, but if girls still heart it, they still like, oh, I like you. And then if they see a story where they can react to it, and then they react with a fire or hand clap emoji. Like I have one girl from Serbia, every single fucking story, she
Yep.
sends me this like hand clap or fire
Right.
reaction even on the story. I'm just like, oh, you go through it's just like 20 in a row. I don't even know what to tell her.
And I
dude, but also like you can look at what they react to. So like girls that react to pictures of me versus pictures of other stuff, right? So the ones who react always like a heart to anything as a picture of me, that's like a huge sign. You know?
It is, because first, girls don't want to do the first step, right? Because we used to get guys approach us, write us, invite us out. But obviously when you like a guy, it's not like you will wait like 5 years till he will invite you. This is when you put the heart or react to the story. It doesn't mean that we're doing the first step. We let you see and make a step. But this means that the girl really into you because she wants to like make a step. She literally tells.
It's like a girl making flirty eye contact at the bar.
Yeah.
She's not going to come approach you,
Yeah, it's
but
like,
she's
okay,
going to...
I'm looking at you. Come.
Right.
Come over.
Which one of you chubbies got a fucking milkshake?
Thanks for listening. If you want more, go to innerconfidence.com and don't forget to subscribe to this podcast for the latest episodes.